Hello, people that how's all doing today? Today, before I start, just listen to me for a second, everybody, because people have a hard habit and they're not listening to me sometimes when I'm trying to explain things. Because it does take a few minutes for me to explain to people that's not from Ireland about things, and then they just click off because it's not about Logan Paul or Jake Paul. They don't give a fuck apart from that. But I need everybody just to listen, because this is not about Jake Paul and Logan Paul. I couldn't give a fuck what they do. They can go off anywhere they want, but I couldn't care. I couldn't care less. We live in Ireland. We're not living in the United States, and so we're not going to bother even mention them. I don't even know why I brought them up right now. Anyway, I'm just talking about our president. As you can see in the thumbnail, this President Higgins, Michael D. Higgins, do really care for the people. This YouTube Twitter channel and the Twitter page met the Health and Wellbeing Summit said they don't, because he never done anything, and he's talking about gambling now, and he never cared before about the people. He doesn't care about the people. That's what they're trying to say. Like they said in their tweet that they were talking to Michael D. Higgins 3 years ago when he was president, and he said that there'd be better funding for mental health resources and all that, and there hasn't been. There hasn't been an increase. And by right they are very mad, and I can understand first why they're very, very mad. I even spoke to some of them, and they are outraged, and they were saying they rather live in a dungeon than stay and look at Michael D. Higgins as president of this country. Because they say it is hard to help people who are on the edge of suicide, who are just literally the tiny bit of the way of cutting their throat in half. And Michael D. Higgins does not care. He does not care. Young person dies in the morning. It's not big worry for him. Doesn't affect him. Does one adult dies, he doesn't care less either. It's only when somebody big dies, some big noise dies up in Dublin or something, some big noise dies in Cuba or something. Fidel Castro, why did he give a fuck when Fidel Castro died? And there was two young boys who got drowned in a quarry down the country. It was an accident, but he didn't care less. There were two young Irish people, 13 and 12 years old, and he did not care. If that was me, I'd be more worried about what's happening in my country than worrying about what's happening in Cuba or America or Scotland or Wales. I wouldn't care less. If I was president of Ireland, I swear to God, someday, please God, I will be, because I would literally show every other person how things are done. The thing why I like Donald Trump, and the thing where I don't really like him, just to say that, but I think he has a good mind of a president, and he knows what he's doing, because he doesn't care what the rest of the world think of him, and that's the perfect thing. He only cares about what America wants this. He's going to get it. He does not care what Europe thinks. He'd probably tell them to fuck off if he had to, because he just literally couldn't care what people think. He only cares about his own country. He doesn't care about what Germany or Europe takes. He doesn't care. As simple as that. He doesn't care. And isn't he right? Michael D. Higgins is over licking the Queen's ass and licking Theresa May's ass and all this. You know, he was over in Lithuania. The taxpayer money paid for his hotel visit and his flight and everything. Oh, wasn't it? It was lovely times. He brought the Irish people home nothing. He brought nothing home to them. He just brought some bullshit home that we improve relationship with Lithuania. How nice. We get more business and more trade, but by the end of the week we will have nothing, because the country will be bankrupt again. That's what's going to happen. If we keep this bollocks in for another year, the country's going to go bankrupt. And as simple as that, I bet you any money, because the banks are not being watched. He's not the Minister for Finance, but he's letting the government off with absolute murder. Anything they want signed in the government before it gets into law, because it's the same in America. If there's going to be a law passed on anything, it has to be signed by the president. And anything that the government bring up to the president, he says, go ahead. Even though it could say, I kill every person in this island, he'll sign it. If the government says sign it, he'll sign it. He's not going to question them. That's the difference about the last person we had, Mary McAleese. A few times the government brought something forward, and she was like, I'm going to the Supreme Court first. I'm not signing until I bring it there. And the government were like, this president's no good. And she was the best president. She was one of the best. Mary Robinson before her was even better again. And may I say, the two women president was the best of the presidents we had ever in this country, because they cared for the people. Mary Robinson is one of the... I have loads and tons of respect for Mary Robinson, because she's out in the war-torn country. She's 68. She's out. over in Syria helping young children and adults on her own salary, on a pension. Not using state funding at all, over with helping people. And that's a good thing about her. And I would love to have her again if she's a bit older and she said she's not going to go for it. But I wish she would, to be honest, because this cut, you think this cut, Michael D. Higgins is going to go for. You think he's going to go over to Syria after he's finished? No, he's just going to go off somewhere and buy a house and live counting his money for the rest of his life. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. And I'm just saying to people, this is the freedom of speech. And to the person or any of his fighters watching or any of the gals watching or anybody watching at all, it's the freedom of speech. You can say whatever you want about me. I'm going to attack you more if you do. So you don't have to worry about it. Give me more cars to give you more attacks. Like match attacks. You get the feds, I get it. Oh, you know what I'm saying? I don't even know don't even think Preston Higgins know what football is. I think he just goes out in the field and just pretends that it's just money day. It's bike day, it's payday. Fucking lovely. He goes to the bike afterwards. That's where he goes. He goes down the road and gets the money out of the ATM and just fucking doesn't care less after that. That's all he cares about, money. It's greed, pure greed going for a second term. I would be like, if I was going for a second term as president, I would take maybe a tiny bit of the money. Because you need a bit of money. I understand you need a bit of money to survive. He only needs about 3,000 a week, maybe. That's it. That's all you can really. 3,000, that's enough, to be honest. And then you give him fucking 22,000 a week. Jesus Christ, what are you going to do with 22,000 a week? And then he has a teacher's pension and a government pension too. I mean, Jesus Christ, what is he going to do? He's getting more along with. I don't know how much that is. That's about nearly $500,000 nearly a week, I think. I don't really know, but it's very interesting. And may I say, he's over pension. He should be retired a long time ago, because he's over age. And anybody else, any hard-on worker who's working hard days in an office, or in the guards, or in the army, or any other service, they have to retire at 66 or 65. It's supposed to be changed to 66 this year, but they have to retire at 65. And Michael D. Higgins is still here, and he's well after pension age, and he's 72 or something. It's ridiculous. He's just pure greed, and he does not care for his people. As simple as that. If you have, I'm telling every Irish person or anybody abroad who's Irish, or any country, any person from any other country watching, to tell everybody you know who is living in this country, who has an Irish citizenship, who is able to vote, not to vote him. Vote for anybody else. Vote for nobody. Just don't vote him. I don't care. Just put on the ballot sheet that you're not voting for him. I really don't care, because I do not want him as president of this country. He has done nothing for this country over 7 years. He's just sat there and grinned and went to different countries. I do not care. It's the freedom of speech. And if they want to challenge me, I challenge them with severe. I bring it to what I'm trying to say, I bring it to the Human Rights Court and see what they say. Because it is the freedom of speech, and they can't really say boo about it if I'm going to give out about it. Because he's doing nothing. He's literally doing nothing. At least Donald Trump acknowledges there's problems in his country. And Michael D. Higgins just sits there and do nothing. And if YouTube or anybody else says they're not doing, them saying things wrong or something, they can really come over here. They're an American company. So they can come over here, see people dying on the streets, seeing people lying in hospital trolleys and not enough room to put them. See homeless people not able to get enough food. See young children in hospital beds not able to be cared for because there's not enough staff. And crime in the city going rapid because there's not enough guards. I could go on forever. Only for these companies in America don't know how bad it is over here. And it's as simple as that. And it's all because who's the head of the state and he's not able to do his job. And we meet a new head of state. I don't care. I'm willing to give somebody else a job. He's been there for 7 years. He's done nothing. Kick him out. That's as simple as that. He's done nothing. Kick him out. Just get rid of him. Get somebody else. Get some young person who knows what they're doing. Who has an idea how to work a government system. I know, I probably give myself a bit of praise here, but I know a tiny bit about government system, how to work things and all that. I would be perfect at it, but I get the gist after a week or two, and I'd be perfect. I'd be running up and down to the government and saying, you have to do this, you have to do that, and I don't give a fuck, I'm going to get you sacked if you don't do something. That'd be what I'd be like. I'd be literally fucking a curse on the government. Because literally, I wouldn't stand there and let things happen. I would literally go anytime, anything that's on the news nearly at all, I'd be out fucking doing something about it. That'd be the type of me, because I wouldn't be able to just sit down and know it. That's the thing about me. Anyway, I'm over 10 minutes. I'm so sorry for it. I didn't mean to go 10 minutes on this. But talking about this little president is not good enough, so. I really get annoyed talking about it, but it is the truth. He's doing nothing. And I have to really make these videos. It's just, I don't want to see my country go down the drain. I remember 2008, the whole country collapsed into itself. And it was just sickening times. I was just so upset with my country that it just collapsed like it was just a pile of bricks or timber or something. It just collapsed so quickly. And we didn't know where we were because we were in so much debt. 33 billion or something. It was so unbelievable how bad it was. And I couldn't believe how bad my country was. And it wasn't the president's fault, it was the government's fault. Mary McAleese was horrified when she heard the figure, how much it was. I'm sure she was horrified. And she even went on the telly and spoke about it. And that's how good she as soon as she heard she was on the telly speaking about it, she was very shocked, you could tell by her. And she was very upset. And no wonder, that's a good person if that she felt the pain of the people. That's the thing. He doesn't feel the pain of the people. That's what makes a good president. Abraham Lincoln, one of the greatest people of our times, felt the pain during the Civil War of young boys dying. It hurted them. It hurted them because he was their father, kind of, in their way. And he kind of felt, because he knew it was his father, because it was it's very hard to explain, but he knew that it was kind of his fault, and he felt very bad that the young people died and for the union and everything. You know what I'm saying? And that's what a person here should do. Anyway, thank you for watching. Subscribe for more and bye.